What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, and day two of the NFL draft has already begun. A little bit of a later stream because the New York Giants, as we all know, did not have a second-round pick, traded it to move up and go ahead and get our quarterback of the future, hopefully with Jackson Dart. I've got the TV screen over on the side right now watching day two of the NFL draft. The Dallas Cowboys, the mid boys, just made their pick, took the edge rusher out of Boston College. Hopefully he's an absolute bust. But here we go, guys. New York Giants. I'm going to stay live for the entirety of the rest of the second round into, of course, we have the first pick of the third round, number 65 overall. We're going to go ahead and live react to that, of course, and have a good discussion about the New York Giants. Any questions that you have based on the fallout of yesterday and the Giants' two picks that they made, or any questions about who they could select, everything. Let's go ahead and have a nice, fun conversation with the live chat today. I'm super excited. And before I get into the live chat, before we really kick things off here, just one last time, you guys know I made some really big sappy thank yous yesterday. I'll keep it short, but thank you so much for all of the love and support on yesterday's live stream. An incredible amount of you were tuned in. Giants fans, you simply are incredible. It was a great night for the Giants and for Fireside Giants. Thank you all so much. Now let's go ahead and waste no more time and get things started. All right. I see there's already a bunch of you who are in here waiting for the stream. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, as well as Fireside Yankees. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to everybody who works over at Fireside Yankees. You guys are the GOATs. Make sure if you guys aren't tuned in to Fireside Yankees, you go check them out too if you're a Yankees fan. Rescue Ops says, let's freaking go. Yes, sir. I'm hyped up, man. Listen, Jackson Dart, you guys know how high we were on him, how high I was on him dating back to January. We started making videos about Jackson Dart. So very exciting. We got Sean Nevins in here. What's up, Sean? Saying tonight should be a little less interesting than the first round. We only have one pick today. I'll be here watching again when you guys are live. I will be here. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you for being here. And a major shout out to you for all of your support here on the channel. Christian's here as well. Lo-Fi Lotus is here as well. Shuck before Sanders was pretty crazy. I kind of wish that I was live to react to that one. Tyler Shuck being a top 50 pick is just unbelievable to me. I think it's laughable. I think it's going to be something that the Saints absolutely regret. And my God, thank you that the Giants did not draft him last night. I would have lost my mind and probably broken my television. All right. Yes, you're welcome for the shout out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The one, not two, nor three. Bro, we are cooking. Yes, we are. We are absolutely cooking. Love Dart back in jam. Me too, my friends. Me too. I'm super, super excited. Are you ready for the Giants to take Sanders like an RG3 and Cousins scenario? Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But I am very curious to see where Shedeur goes. It's very interesting that he is dropping this far, right? Like, it's very shocking that he's going just this far. And we'll see where the slide ultimately ends. My prediction, I do think he's going to wind up with the Pittsburgh Steelers one way or another. But we do have the Raiders coming up on the clock here in a few picks. Potentially, that Tom Brady connection could get him drafted. We shall see. Real quick, Anthony, I did get your Twitter message. I didn't have a chance to respond to today. Been super, super busy, but I am planning on responding to you. I'm super excited to check out that movie 3 and really happy that you did end up following up and sending me that message. I will be hitting you up very, very soon. Tomorrow, probably. But thanks so much. All right, what else? Lo-Fi wants Monangai, the Rutgers running back. I do think I also think that he's in play. I don't know if he's in play at 65. That's probably too early for Kyle Monangai. However, later on in the draft, maybe we're talking in the 5th round. I think Monangai does make sense for the Giants. They did indeed have a meeting with him at their local pro day, and I really like him. Big bruiser. Like him a lot. Bear315 with a super chat. Thank you so much, Bear, one of our most loyal supporters, saying, all the good defensive tackles are going before we pick. Should we go offensive line or wide receiver? Yeah, I'm actually going to pull up the draft board and see which defensive linemen are still available because I am curious about that. Let's go ahead. I'm trying to pull up. There we go. NFL.com. So let's see what we can find. Draft tracker. Because I know that there's several defensive linemen that I like in this draft class. We shall see who is available, though. All right, undrafted. Of course, this thing is just as difficult to use as possible. Let's see. So Shamar Turner out of Texas A&M. You've got Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. Cam Jackson out of Florida. Yeah, it is really thinning out. Darius Alexander is still there. I don't know if he makes it to 65, but that would be pretty cool if he does, because he's a player that the Giants I know like, and a lot of fans wanted at 34. So we shall see. Back into the chat. Wow, we got a big one here. Holy cow. Lucas saying big bad dog fan and just want to show some support for all your hard work and insights. Hopefully these help. Lucas, my God, thank you so much. You're the absolute man. I can't thank you enough for this. Also gifting 50 Fireside Giants memberships. Wow. Lucas, thank you so much, my friend. Unbelievable. Major shout out to you. I can't thank you enough. I'm actually speechless right now. Completely humbled. Lucas, you're the man. You're fantastic. Thank you so much, man. Listen, I appreciate this support more than you know. This is a huge donation. I think it's definitely the biggest the Fireside Giants has ever received. So you're up in the record books, my friend. You're all the way at the top of the record books for this one. And thank you so much, Lucas, for the support. It means the world to us. And I'm so happy that we can just hop all on here as Giants fans collectively and just talk Giants as friends. Like, the community is so important to me. And you're helping us grow that community. Gifting those memberships really helps us grow that community, which is our biggest goal here. So, Lucas, thank you so much, man. It means the absolute world to us. And everybody, go tap into these memberships for sure. Major shout out to Lucas. Everybody drop some W's for Lucas. What an absolute legend. Wow. Awesome, man. Completely humbled. Thank you. Lucas did just bless the entire community. Awesome. W. Lucas. Thomas says you're a huge fan of the show. Thomas, thank you so much. Happy to have you here. Major W's. Thanks, Lucas. Lucas W. Awesome. We got a whole lot more community members now, and this is just fantastic. A lot of channel members. Unbelievable. So great. Wow, I didn't even give a shit what's going on in the draft. That was a rush, man. Awesome. Can't thank you all enough, man, for all the support you guys have shown throughout the pre-draft process and here tonight. Being here for day 2 of the draft, last night for day 1 of the draft. Just incredible support. If you guys missed that, I was live on Giants Collective with Bad Dog at 5:30 p.m. We had a great discussion reacting to round 1 of the draft. It was myself, Adriana, NYG Fangirl, The Entertainer, and Bad Dog. That's where Lucas found me from. Lucas, again, thank you so much. And yeah, if you guys aren't tuning into the Giants Collective, though, every Wednesday and Friday, make sure you guys are tuning in, because we have some really great discussions and just more New York Giants creators. The better. The collaboration is the best. So W. Lucas. Fantastic. Rescue Op says, where's Alex? Alex is on the other side of the world right now in a different time zone. And I think that it's 4 a.m. near where he is. So he's sound asleep. He would love to be here, and he will be here for future installments of our draft live streams. But this year, it just didn't work out for him. But he'll be back on the channel tomorrow to react to the day 2 picks. So nothing to worry about. We'll be having some good conversations. Yeah, Fireplace. Lucas just gave out a ton of memberships and dropped a major donation. Lucas is the absolute man, a living legend. So thank you so much. And yeah, giving away the memberships is like the coolest thing ever. So cool. Yeah, Sean, definitely check out the Collective. That show is a lot of fun. I'll be completely honest. I was skeptical. You know, sometimes you get together with other people that you haven't really recorded with before. Maybe you don't view football the same way as them. Maybe you're not the same kind of like Giants fan. Maybe you see the game from a different angle, and maybe the chemistry just isn't there. We picked up the chemistry like that over on Giants Collective. Like, it just absolutely clicked immediately. Us 4 Italians, us Paisanos, we have a great time over on Giants Collective. And so we do that twice a week now. It was supposed to be a once a week show, but we expanded it a little bit. And yeah, it's like I said, a great show, and I love those guys. I love talking ball with them. Sean, I'll drop the link right now. All right, let's see. Was everyone just off on the Shedeur talent grade? I know I don't get to do interviews, but seems like a good kid to me. Yeah, listen. I really like Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur is a really good player, and he's going to have a successful NFL career. The only thing is, I heard that he did a very poor job in his interviews, and in particular, the Giants interview, which I think we should absolutely discuss. Todd McShay saying that he and Brian Dable got into it a little bit. They went back and forth and had a spat because Brian Dable gave him a playbook and an install to memorize, and he didn't. And Dable called him out on it, and they kind of went back and forth. That's what Todd McShay said on his recent podcast. So almost like they got into an argument is what it sounds like. And it obviously turned the New York Giants away. So, yeah, no Shedeur Sanders to Big Blue because he pissed off Brian Dable. And I don't know if there's any coming back from that. So, Lucas said, still not green enough, and then dropped another 50 memberships. Lucas, you're blowing my mind right now. You are absolutely unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, another W for Lucas, man. Guys. Wow. I don't know what to say, man. I'm completely thrilled right now. This is incredible. Thank you so much, Lucas. This support, like I said, just means the world to us. Our biggest goal here with Fireside Giants is to continue to grow the community because the community is everything to us. Like having this safe haven of Giants fans to hang out here and talk ball together, watch the draft together. Like this is what I absolutely love. This is fantastic. So this is why we're doing it. And you're helping us achieve that goal in an incredible fashion. So Lucas, I just can't thank you enough. Sean, I don't know how to change the color. I didn't know you could do that. Is that a thing? You can change the membership color? Is that a thing? I will look into that for sure, though. We have Will Johnson to the Cardinals, a really good player who many months ago was actually a mock draft selection for the New York Giants very early in a lot of these mocks. So it's not anymore, though. Is Big Dash in here? Shout out to Big Dash. We've had Big Dash on the channel before. Very good New York Giants content creator. Will Johnson fell really far because of medicals, is what I read. There's something with his medicals that caused him to fall. I know he missed some time last season. Yeah, absolutely. Lucas does deserve it. Lucas, if you want to hop on, you just let me know. Send me a message on Twitter, and I'll absolutely add you to the live if you want to talk some Giants on the channel. You've earned it for sure. Thanks again. Yeah, my live chat, I'm not seeing Big Dash in the chat, but if I missed it, say what's up, Big Dash, because you're the man. I really like interacting with you. Obviously, like I said, we've had you on the channel and like interacting with you on Twitter too. You're a smart football mind, my friend. Norman Lott. Yeah, he falls a lot in the mock drafts. I think he's falling right now, right? Or did he get selected and I missed it? No, he's still falling. So, yeah, he hasn't been selected yet. I'm not a big fan of Norman Lott. I know a few people have recommended Norman Lott in our chats before. I did a little bit more research on him. And what I ultimately found was that he was too undersized for me and my liking. I don't think he could be a down-to-down starter. And I think if we need a defensive tackle, we don't need a rotational undersized interior rusher. We need like a big run stopper. So I'm very partial to Alfred Collins for that reason. And that's who I really want to see at number 65 overall. So sorry, Sean. I know that you're a big Norman Lott fan, but yeah, Norman Lott, not my style of defensive tackle. Lucas saying, nah, appreciate the work you put in. You put a lot of work, put a lot of thought, and think outside the box. Thank you so much, Lucas. Again, I can't thank you enough. I really do appreciate all of the support that you've shown tonight. It's incredible. Do put in a lot of work, but hey, I get a lot of reward from it just by growing this community of Fireside Giants. viewers and channel subscribers. Like, this is the reward, the community that we're building. It's everything to me. So absolutely love it. And Lucas, thank you so much. Your support goes a very long way. Cameron Simpson asking, any chance the Ravens can snag Trey Harris? Cameron, isn't it like 1 a.m. over in England? Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? Yes, there's a good chance that the Ravens can snag Trey Harris, but not if my Giants have anything to say about it, because we need to reunite my boy Trey Harris with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors. I would love to see him play for the New York Giants, man. That would be awesome. Oh, no, Alfred Collins got picked? No. Damn. See, I got all distracted with the live chat. I didn't even see he got selected. No way. Who took him? Who took Alfred Collins? Not my sweet Prince Alfred. Not Alfred Collins. No way. The 49ers, it's a great pick for the 49ers. Damn. Wow. All right. Well, that dream is dead. Trey Harris' dream is still alive, though, at 65. He should have been taken sooner. He's the most slept-on player in this draft class. Like, I'm going to go as far as to say that. I can't believe that people are sleeping on him the way that they are. Honestly, cannot believe it. Man. Yeah. San Fran stole our thunder here. How do I get this live draft tracker? There we go. Nato, Trey Harris is the wide receiver out of Ole Miss. He was WR1 for Jackson Dart. The issue was last season he had some injuries, but man, you watch this kid play and the talent is unbelievable. He's a freakish athlete and he's really physical. He's got a crazy catch radius and he's just really good. And because he was injured, he's fallen in the draft. He shouldn't be. He's a legit talent. At one point, he was viewed as a potential first round, second round pick. Now he might go round 3 or later. And if that happens, man, sign me up. And on top of that, Trey Harris, I'll add some extra context. This is really exciting. Not only was he Jackson Dart's WR1, he was Malik Neighbors' quarterback in high school. So that connection would be fantastic. Bring him here and reconnect all 3 of those guys. I think that is a dream pairing. But yeah, we definitely do need to address the trenches, and I think that we will. I think with that pick at number 65, it's probably going to be a trenchman, whether it's a offensive lineman or defensive lineman, we shall see. But I do really like Trey Harris. If he ends up being the pick, I'll be thrilled. All right, Elijah Arroyo. I really do like that call out from Lou Boogie here. Elijah Arroyo is a tight end out of Miami who the Giants, this is not enough people talked about this throughout the pre-draft process. The fact that at the Miami Pro Day, the Giants, Brian Dable wasn't there, but guess who was? The Giants tight end coach, Tim Kelly. What does that mean? They like Elijah Arroyo and they're interested in him. So I think that he is a player who the Giants are definitely going to be considering. They did some research on him. They sent, the tight ends coach to scout him and to meet with him. And man, he's athletic for a tight end. He would be great in a 2 tight end set. I could totally see that being the pick for the Giants since they like him so much. But ultimately, they do have bigger needs, and we'll see what they decide. Yeah, DTs are flying off the board. It's an incredible defensive tackle class. Anthony, first time in the chat. Go Giants. Like to see someone next to Sexy Dexy. Shout out to you, Anthony. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First time viewer. Appreciate your viewership on this live stream, and really happy to have you here with the Fireside Giants community. But yeah, I would love to see the Giants add some meat alongside Dexter Lawrence on that defensive line. They got ran all over in some of those games last year and the season prior, and Dexter Lawrence has had a couple of injuries. And so I think adding depth and another starter to that defensive line is going to be crucial. So I'm with you. Mike Green is still on the board. Is that right, guys? Is he still falling? Listen, I never saw it because of the off the field stuff. I know that's a touchy subject and everything, but I knew that NFL teams were going to pass on that guy because of that, and they probably should. So it's just one of those things, and he's going to keep slipping. We'll see where he gets drafted, though. Could be interesting. All right, let's see. Where else? Yeah, Darius Alexander is still on the board. Yeah, not to me. My bad for that one. Darius Alexander still on the board. Maybe he's the pick at 65. We're now 15 picks away. And I know that the Giants, again, had a top 30 visit with Darius Alexander. Really like him. Could they get a little froggy and leap? Could they trade up? I do think once we get closer to pick 60-ish for a small jump, I don't think they're going to be too aggressive trading up because they did obviously exhaust quite a bit of draft capital yesterday to move up for Jackson Dart. However, could they maybe make a trade? I can't rule it out with Joe Shane. So we could see something happen. Maybe if Darius Alexander does fall and they really like him, maybe they make a move to go get him. We'll see. Fabrizio saying we need linebackers. I'm actually way higher on the Giants linebacker core than I think most people are. Like, I think Bobby Okereke is a really good player, and I really, really like Micah McFadden way more than most Giants fans do. So I think linebacker is something that the Giants address tomorrow on day 3, probably way later in the draft. They could obviously afford to add some depth there, but I know that they really like some of the depth guys that they've drafted and signed in free agency over the last few years. So I don't think they're going to prioritize linebacker. And also, it's a very thin linebacker class. Like, the only good day 2 linebacker already got drafted first overall in the second round. So I don't think we're going to see linebacker, unfortunately, for the Giants. Trevor Etienne's still on the board. The running backs are slowly coming off the board. There was a pretty nice run on them earlier in this second round, but many of them are still on the board. Not a ton of them have been taken. I think the Giants are sitting at 65 and maybe even at 105 to get a good running back at either one of those spots. Etienne probably isn't going to go until the 5th or 6th tomorrow, so definitely have a chance to get my guy. You guys know how much I like him. Was Darius Alexander taken? Did I miss that one? Let me go ahead and check. Scatterboo would be nice. I know Giants fans love Scatterboo. My co-host Alex absolutely loves Kim Scatterboo. Really good player too. Just a football player, right? Darius Alexander is still on the board. Still on the board. Biggest need for the Giants. I would say guard. I'm struggling between guard and defensive tackle, but I think because they have an all-pro defensive tackle and they don't have an all-pro guard, I'd go with defensive tackle. I would say guard is the bigger need, but obviously they need another starter on the defensive interior as well. But I would say guard. But those are the two big needs for the Giants for sure. Ollie Gordon's a good player that the Giants also met with. Just an absolute put your shoulder into you and kill you guy, you know. Cam Simpson saying, where do you think Sanders falls to now, and how do you think this humbling will affect him? I hope it puts a chip on his shoulder, and I hope that he learns something from it. That's for sure. So I do think it will have an effect. Where does he fall? It almost looks like the teams have an undraftable grade on him now. Like, they're not even going to draft him. Like, we're getting pretty deep in the second round here. Now, I don't really think that's going to happen, but I think sometime today, I think tomorrow, the next round, I don't think he goes until tomorrow, but I think round 3, I still think the Steelers are going to take him. Mike Tomlin likes him, so I don't know. It's pretty insane, though. That's why you got to nail those interviews. It's like a job interview. You got to take it seriously. You got to nail those interviews. Very, very wild stuff. Yeah, imagine if Sanders goes undrafted, it would set the NFL world ablaze. I really don't think that would happen, though. He'll get drafted. Like, he's talented. Like, he's got a lot of talent. He's a football player, and he's a good one at that. So he'll get drafted, but yeah, someone will take a flyer on him. I think someone's going to take a flyer in round 3, but round 4 could happen as well. We'll see. Sean's saying no. What happened? Is it Alexander? Did we lose Darius? Elijah Arroyo. It's a good pick for the Seahawks. I think he's going to make an impact as early as his first season. I think that could be a really good player to help take some pressure off of Sam Darnold's shoulders. It's a pretty good pick to me. Cam Ward's favorite target, arguably, him and Restrepo. I really like Arroyo's highlights because the way he moves when you watch him, if he wasn't so thick, you wouldn't know he's a tight end because he moves like a receiver, that's for sure. Stephen RC, another Fireside Giants OG, saying Trey Harris at 65 and running back at 105. Well, that would be fantastic. We definitely need to add some depth on the lines, defensive and offensive as well. But if you want to load up the offense, which the Giants' offense needs loading up, it was really bad last year. Trey Harris and a running back. I mean, yeah, now you're giving your young quarterback some young playmakers to grow with over the next couple of years, and you're putting your offense in a position to finally do something. So I'm with it. Got a super chat here from Nick Bavas. Thank you so much, Nick. Another Fireside Giants major supporter. Really do appreciate you saying, Ant, we need run stoppers. Remember what Mara said about being embarrassed by the run. It's a great point. The Giants got ran over a lot last year. Mara was embarrassed about it. So was I. So were the New York Giants. I do think that they will find a way to add some trenchmen this draft. Like, I think that 65, they are going to take the best defensive tackle available, whether that's Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. If Darius Alexander keeps slipping, he's becoming an option, which would just be fantastic. But yeah, keep an eye on those guys and all the other defensive tackles because we really do need a run stop. You're absolutely right, Nick, and thanks so much for the super chat. Rashad said, someone gifted me a membership. Thank you so much. I'm very appreciative. Yeah, that was Big Lucas. Thank you so much to Lucas for gifting 100 memberships tonight. An absolute legend for that. Guys, big shout out to Lucas. So awesome. Steven asking, why is Alexander falling? Is it because he's 34? I think that's among the reasons. Age and also Toledo. I think some fans do have question marks about competition at Toledo, even though Quinyon, who's the Eagles cornerback that was there last year? He's really, really good. Can't name slip in my mind right now. But anyway, they should draft Shedeur in the 3rd. Yeah, right. Pull a Washington. Won't happen though. That report today was unbelievable to me that Todd McShay said that publicly. I can't believe he actually said that on the podcast. Again, in case you weren't here at the beginning of the live stream when I shared this, Todd McShay, and shout out to there's somebody who commented it and flagged me down, said, Anthony, read my comment over on Giants Collective tonight at the 5:30 live stream. They're the one who brought this to my attention. I went and verified it, found an article and found the podcast clip. But essentially, Todd McShay said on this podcast that Shedeur Sanders bombed his meeting with the New York Giants. The Giants gave him like an install, like a playbook package, basically, to memorize, and he chose not to. He showed up completely unprepared for the interview, and then him and Brian Dable got into it. So, yeah, that's a good way to cross the Giants off the list and not get drafted by them and start slamming down the draft boards, fighting with head coaches and not doing the homework that they gave you. It's a great way to fall down the board. So, absolutely insane. Very immature behavior from Shedeur. Again, I think you all know that I really like Shedeur Sanders, and I think he's going to be a good player, and I would have liked him on the New York Giants, but yeah, I mean, you can't blame the Giants for passing up on him after hearing a story like that. And that story, Tom McShay's telling it to us now. It definitely was told to other people around the league, and that's having an effect on him, and that's why he's falling down the board. So, wild story. And we'll see. Yo, this UCLA edge rusher that was just drafted by the Titans, NFL Network has his 3 strengths listed. Juicy! Exclamation point. What kind of strength is that? Pause. Get that off my screen. What are we doing right now? Juicy. Yeah, I want my edge rusher out of UCLA to be juicy. Fuck out of here. What is that? Anyway, Lou Boogie said, Anthony, your boy Tyler Shuck got drafted ahead of Shedeur. Would you have imagined that? This is a strange league, man, because the fact that there are teams that are willing to go to bat for Tyler Shuck, I mean, yeah, the 26-year-old rookie with several surgeries and injuries, and I don't see what people see in this kid. If you guys watch the film breakdown, I mean, listen, he's got some of really high highlight plays, and I bet you that's what it is. I bet you some fans only watch the highlights, and they're like, oh man, he's super talented. Watch the lowlights because they're unbelievable for this guy, and he's not down to down accurate either. He has those wild plays where he makes an incredible moment. You're like, oh my god, Tyler Shuck is sick. And then he has those really bad plays, but all the plays in between that really matter, the down to down stuff, he's inconsistent as hell there. So I get it. He was a high recruit coming out of high school, whatever. Really impressive back then. That was 8 years ago, man. I don't see it, but H50 Pharaoh, thank you so much for the super chat. Another Fireside Giants OG. I feel like I've been saying H50 Pharaoh for 5 years. Just incredible that, we've got such long-term viewership now, but thank you so much for the super chat saying, I love our draft picks, Carter and Dart. I absolutely love it. Listen, guys, I wrote an article and I published it on January 19th. And the title was, it wasn't even a Giants article. I was just doing a draft article. I wrote up a scouting report. It was Jackson Dart scouting report, why he could be the steal of the 2025 NFL draft. So if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Jackson Dart fan, and I'm really excited about this. Now, the article was kind of predicated on him being a mid-round pick and being a steal in that regard, but even still, the talent is there, and I really like his upside. And he couldn't be in a better situation sitting behind a Hall of Famer for a year and then hopefully turn him loose in 2026. So I love the pick, man. I'm super happy. So thank you so much for the super chat. The source for Shedeur was Todd McShay. Go check out the Todd McShay podcast. And you know what? I'll even find the link to the article that summarized it that I found, and I'll drop it in the chat if you would like to read about it. Really eye-opening stuff. So what did I search to find that? There we go. Todd McShay, Shedeur Sanders. Maybe I won't be able to find it because I didn't save the link, even though I should have. I got it. I got it on Pro Football Network. Here we go. Yep. I will read the quotes too for everybody. Here's what Tom McShay said verbatim. A few months ago, the idea that Shedeur Sanders could fall out of the top 10 seemed inconceivable. But with just a few hours until the draft kicks off in Green Bay, league sources I've spoken to are expecting him to slide. I heard from 2 different sources that his visit with head coach Brian Daboll did not go particularly well. The friction centered on some frustration between the two regarding Sanders' preparation of an install package. It seems the interview process as a whole, beginning in Indianapolis, as I reported a few days after the Combine, has negatively affected the league-wide perception of Sanders during the lead-up of this year's draft. And when I was listening to it, there was some more added to it, again, that mentioned the friction and tension, almost making it seem like they went after it a little bit. 2 of them, Daboll and Sanders, so pretty wild. Pretty wild. Yeah, it's just his attitude, man. Like, he's talented. The abilities are there, but I don't know if he got into a fight. I don't want to say fight. I think I said fight. Maybe argument, disagreement, that kind of thing. Spat, not fight. So, but yeah, he has a lot of friction with Brian Daboll because he showed up unprepared to the interview and it pissed Daboll off. So, and I can't blame him. Cam Simpson saying, I have the same strength as that UCLA edge rusher. You're wilding, my friend. You're wilding. Yeah, listen, I know some fans don't like it when I do this, but I am going to pat myself on the back here. Jalen Milroe still hasn't been picked. I said it on my mock draft a week or 2 ago. I said he was going to fall to 65. He would be there late. And we're over halfway through the second round. We're nearing the third round. If the Giants really liked Milroe, they could have stuck and picked him, I believe, at 65. So he's sliding down the board. This is really surprising to some people. For me, I saw it coming. But anyway, Anthony, are you concerned that Sanders could get pissed off and beat Lamar Jackson for dropping all the way down? It's totally possible. I mean, listen, like I said, the talent is there. I really like Shedeur Sanders. I think he's a very good football player. This could absolutely put a chip on his shoulder, and maybe he becomes something special. But I'm not concerned about that from the Giants' perspective. They went through their process. They did the right thing here. They took the quarterback that they were comfortable with, and I think Jackson Dart is a really good player, and he's in the perfect situation to grow, develop, and I feel good about him becoming a franchise quarterback. I think there's a good chance that he can do it. Yeah, Darius. So the NFL draft oftentimes is just hope he turns out good. Like, you're just taking them to take a chance, right? But the thing with Dart that I want Giants fans to understand, this is like a perfect marriage of style. Brian Daboll has a certain style of quarterback that he really likes. He has a certain style of offense that he really likes to run. And Jackson Dart knows how to run an offense similar to that style and fits that style well. And he is the style of quarterback that Daboll likes. So the thing is with quarterbacks getting drafted in the NFL, situation is everything. How many times have you guys heard me say that on the channel? And oftentimes what we see is a quarterback go into a bad situation and they flame out. Let's say Bryce Young to the Panthers. They're such a bad football team. How was he ever going to succeed there? Daniel Jones to the Giants in 2019. The fact that he was starting by week 3 with those playmakers and that lack of coaching and everything, that was a mistake. That was poor development, and it was a bad situation. But Dart now, the situation being, he's got a coach who really likes him on a personal level and loves his skill set, has made success of that skill set in the past, and he's got 2 great veteran quarterbacks in front of him, so he can sit, wait, grow, and only play games once he's ready to. That's a good situation, and that's why I think Jackson Dart, the hope of him becoming good, you have a pretty good reason to be hopeful. So, yeah, I don't know why McShay left ESPN. He's over at The Ringer now. I'm assuming he probably got paid a lot by The Ringer, but it is strange that he's airing some of these things out. He's been very open with a lot of stuff, and I don't know. He's been exposing a little bit too much, I think. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I guess I appreciate his honesty and when he's doing his reporting, because it helps us gain a lot of incredible insight, like this thing with Shedeur, giving us so much insight. Guys, has Darius Alexander been picked yet, or is he still on the board? Because, man, do I want him or what? Fabrizio saying, Anthony, are you concerned with Daboll fighting with coaches and now with a player? I've been concerned with Daboll fighting with coaches in the past. I think he did a great job improving on that this past season. I think he made a lot of character growth this past year. So I'm not concerned about it. And I don't think he was necessarily fighting with Sanders. I think Sanders kind of failed his test, and that upset him because he probably wanted Sanders to pass that test. He probably liked Sanders a lot at some point in his draft process and probably felt disappointed. So that's ultimately what I think happened. All right. Evil Knievel. I like that. Diesel Dart, right? Yeah, Jaden Daniels fit like a glove over there. Sometimes it's all about situation. Darius is still available. Anthony Belton at NC State to the Packers. Interesting. Darius Alexander. I'm trying to tweet about him right now, guys. This could be a moment where BPA matches need perfectly. That's how I feel about Darius Alexander. I'm really hoping that he continues to slide here. I think that would be such a good pick for the Giants. I think he would start from day one, Darius Alexander. Tate Ratledge, I see some of you saying that in the chat as well. I do really like Tate Ratledge, and I think he could be a potential option at 65. The Giants just have like a lot of guys on the offensive line. They don't have any guys that, are starters or anything, but they've got some guys. On the defensive line, they don't really have any guys. Like they just have a lot of room to add. So we'll see. Shedeur Sanders at 65. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen, especially in light of the recent reporting. Yeah, Rashad pointing out, Dable said Dart knocked the interview process out of the park. Here's one thing that I want to mention. Harris gone? No, who took Harris? If it's to the Chargers, I'm happy about it because I do like the Chargers, but I'm also really sad because I want him to be a Giant. Yeah, Dart knocked the interview process out of the park, and this is something that I said a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, whatever. Fans were like, oh, the Giants have met with Sanders so many times. They love him. They're going to take him. And I was like, guys, if they knew that they wanted to take him and they really liked him and they loved him, they wouldn't meet with him 5 different times. They would meet with him a couple times, and they'd be good because they would have gotten all the information they needed, and they would have been comfortable selecting him. That's what happened with Jackson Dart. They met with him once. They didn't even have a top 30 visit, and they went ahead and drafted him. So I was right on that one. That was the right way of looking at that process. That was too much research into Shedeur Sanders. That was how I felt. And I was like, you know what? I think that was a tell that they weren't crazy about him. Trenton, our local Eagles fan who likes to hang out with us, says, Anthony, I have to say Dart might be a keeper. I think so too. Trey Harris off the board. Hot Nichols, it was Trey Harris who was Malik's high school quarterback, not Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart and Trey Harris played together at Ole Miss, but before Trey Harris converted to wide receiver, he played quarterback in high school with Malik Neighbors. Ole Miss quarterbacks have been historically good to us, and I hope that he follows in those footsteps. But I also don't want him to live in the shadow of Eli Manning either. Thank you for Greg for leaving that comment. I don't want him to live in the shadow of Eli either, but I hope that he forges his own legacy. But I hope that it can maybe one day match Eli's. Would be fantastic. Although I don't know if anybody's matching Eli ever. Yeah, everybody drop a like, please. Appreciate all the support and everybody tuning in. Thank you. Did this happen? Was Dabes doing a sniff test? I didn't see this. I don't know if I like that. Sam, thank you for popping in. No, Sanders has not yet been picked. Shedeur Sanders is still sliding. Looks like he very well could fall into the 3rd round, although Vegas does have a pick coming up, so perhaps Las Vegas takes him. But again, I think that if they wanted him, they would have taken him already. So I don't know where he's going to land. Something is slowing down my computer right now, and I don't know what it is. Am I lagging for you guys? Please let me know if I'm lagging. I hope that I'm not. But I don't know what's going on because my computer is acting slow. All right. A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf are 2 famous Ole Miss players. I like Ole Miss, man. They breed some good talent, especially at wide receiver, which is why I really want Trey Harris. But he is absolutely going to light it up with the Chargers, dude. Oh, my God. That's going to be fun to watch. Cam Simpson, what's your top 5 prospects looking like? Yeah, so I'm trying to get this freaking website to load so that I can look at who the top prospects are. Here we go. All right, finally loaded. Jack Beck is a name that I like. Jack Sawyer is a name that I like. Darius Alexander is definitely in this top 5. I mean, Shedeur Sanders for me personally is, but not for the Giants. Tate Ratledge, if he's still on the board, I think he is. He's definitely in that 5. Yeah, I don't know if I said 5 there, but about 5. Ah, no lag. Oh, maybe a little lag. Okay. A little freeze every now and then. All right. I think it might be the NFL Draft Tracker website. For some reason, that's the one I think is making things slow down just a little bit. Sam, there were 3 quarterbacks taken so far. Of course, Cam Ward 25 to the Giants, Jackson Dart, and the New Orleans Saints took Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck with a top 50 pick, which is still just unbelievable to me. Yeah, Trey Harrison, Lam McConkey. Holy crap. Wow, that's a pretty high number, Greg. 25 Ole Miss players. The dap around the world was a fraud, but hey, you know what? This is so funny. Let me find. Let me see if I can find the dap test. Do you guys remember this? If any of you follow me on Twitter, do you remember when I posted the Jackson Dart DAP test? Man, he passed the DAP test. I will share my screen for this one. This was a good one. Sam's out with the wife getting the evil eye. Sam, and so is VK. Same here on my phone. She's watching National Treasure. You guys are awesome for being here. Thank you. Don't get yourselves in trouble. This was back on March 28th. Alex asking the important question: does every coach on the Giants just hand out generational daps like that? The thing echoed around the entire dome. Either way, very interested in a trade up for Dart in the first round on March 28th. Fireside Giants has been telling you about this possibility for a very long time. We started it even before March 28th, but here we are over about a month later. Pretty fantastic. But anyway, I don't know. That dap was crisp. And so this is what I tweeted: passing on Shedeur at 3 in favor of Dart because he scored higher on the DAP test. Better the DAP, better the quarterback is what Alex said. And here we are a month later, and the DAP test is real. The guy with the better DAP got drafted by the Giants. Unbelievable. So never discount the DAP test. CB3 asking, why not take Shedeur at 65? Because the Giants just drafted Jackson Dart. And I get it. Obviously, there's precedence for this to draft 2 quarterbacks in one class, but the New York Giants have 3 quarterbacks on the roster that they like: Dart, Winston, and Wilson. You can't have a 4th. It's almost weird to hold 3. You're definitely not holding 4. And yeah, maybe you think Shedeur is good. But again, this reporting that the Giants had a bad interview with Shedeur and they didn't want to draft him, that's not going to change at 65. That bad interview is still going to be a bad interview. So they want to pass on him. They probably have an undraftable grade on him is probably what's going on. You guys see that? I just tried to sip my Diet Coke and the cap was on. Embarrassing. Yo, what about that Bears pick earlier today? Shout out Bears Max. If he were in the chat, we'd be hyping him up because that Luther Burden selection, that was fantastic. Good for them. Let's see. Dart is a scrappy guy. Unfortunately, Tommy DeVito is likely just the practice squad quarterback. Yeah, dip that. Yeah. Dip the tip. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said your name out loud. Yep. Yeah, Tommy DeVito is probably on the practice squad. My boy, Mr. Cutlets. If we get Scatterbo, I'm buying a Kadarius Toney jersey on eBay for $2 and wear it all year long. I have a Kadarius Toney jersey and I never take it out. Never wear it, even though I should because my name is Tony, so it works. Jameis may get cut eventually. DeVito to practice squad and Russ and Dart on the 53-man. Yeah, that's definitely a possible outcome. And I think I saw somebody earlier in the chat ask me if we could potentially see the Giants trade Jameis Winston midseason. I do think that's a possibility. We'll see. I don't know if it's a likelihood, but it's certainly a possibility. So let's keep an eye on that. I don't think it's likely, though. I think they want to keep that depth at quarterback, and they should because they've had a lot of injuries at that position, and it's the most important position. Darius Alexander is still available, and we are getting close to number 65 overall. This feels like a moment where the Giants are going to say, man, we didn't expect him to be here. We got to take him if he makes it, because we're getting really close. But who knows? Because the Lions always like to take guys that I like, and their pick is in, so we'll see. Rescue Ops. Oh, wow. Just a flood of chats came in and totally messed me up there. I'm at work. How many picks till our turn? We're at 57 right now, so 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 8 picks. Detroit traded up. Yep, maybe they're taking Alexander, maybe not. We'll see. I don't know, man. It's really tough to tell. Third round now for sure, but he might end up being a fourth round pick or later. We'll see. Philta saying, thanks for the gifted membership. Thank you once again to Lucas for gifting everybody those memberships. That was truly incredible. Dart did run players over in college. Can't do that now. Got to protect your body, but he'll learn from, if there's any quarterback to learn that from, that's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson protected his body better than anybody when he was a dual threat quarterback with Seattle. I mean, that guy would just drop. He would protect his body better than anybody. Perfect quarterback to mentor him. I love O'Marion Hampton. I love that pick for the Chargers. Fantastic. That's the exact player that I wanted them to get, and I'm very happy for the Chargers. That was a great selection for them. He's a really good player. I don't think we need to trade up. I think at 65, we're positioned to get a pretty good player. So I don't think that's going to be necessary. Yeah, draft pauses at the end of the third. At the end of the third round, they move into day 3. It picks back up tomorrow. Yeah, Dart hurdle somebody. Dart can move, man. Dart's sick. Dart is a good player. I'm excited, man. I want to see who the Giants get. Third round pick. You never know. It could be something special. Yeah, the Chargers got O'Marion Hampton and Trey Harris. Everybody was saying all throughout the offseason, they're not giving Justin Herbert enough playmakers. He's got some playmakers now. He's got some playmakers. That team is going to be sick next year. I love the Chargers, man. They're fun to watch. One of these years, man, I want to go to the draft. Would you guys watch Fireside Giants live stream of me in the draft? Yeah, the offensive line run is happening. Offensive line run is definitely happening. Cameron Simpson, what are Mike Green's off the field issues? Is it like Big Ben? So I'd definitely be looking at him for the Ravens with their next pick. If not, it is similar to Ben Roethlisberger. Similar accusations, allegations, however you want to phrase it. Yes, it is a little bit similar to Ben Roethlisberger, and that's why he's falling this far in the draft. Fabrizio, I don't know if I see a tight end falling and being drafted by the Giants. They really liked Elijah Arroyo, but he went off the board already. So I think that was really the only tight end that I heard that they were really interested in. And outside of him, I'm not sure if they have one that they like. So can't say for certain that a tight end will be picked by the Giants, but maybe tomorrow we'll see. Yeah, Tate Ratledge off the board. That's tough. I did really like him. He probably would have been the best guard available at 65, but unfortunately, no, he won't be. Yeah, I see a lot of yeses in the chat. You guys want me to go to the draft next year? I'm gonna look into it. That's for sure. I'm also going to try and get credentialed press access to the Senior Bowl next year. It doesn't seem like it's that hard to get. They let a lot of people go, and I would love to do that. Get some interviews, get some footage, obviously talk about it on Fireside. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably end up going to the Senior Bowl. Yeah, the tight ends that they like, I think, are gone. Dying for a Jack Beck pick. Jack Beck, Senior Bowl MVP. Giants have taken a lot of those in the past. And also he, I believe, is friends with Malik Neighbors because they're both Louisiana natives. Yeah, if the draft is back in NYC anytime soon, I'm there for sure. Lions always take our guys. Anybody that I want, Lions like to take them. Aleem McNeil being the most prime example. Oh, Aleem McNeil. You guys remember how much I liked him if you're a long-term viewer of the channel. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh next year. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into it for sure. Who is the best player available at 65? Let me pull up my draft tracker again, even though it's slowing down my live stream. Ooh, guys, I didn't realize Marcus Mbao is still on the board. The Purdue. Somebody confirm that for me. Marcus Mbao is still available? That's the pick at 65, dude. Are you kidding me? That would be a great selection. Marcus Mbao at Purdue would be a great selection. Yeah, I would really like Marcus Mbao. I mean, that guy might be able to plug in at right guard from day one, dude. And the Giants, I think they had a 30 visit with him. Fireplace, I'll never forget that Aleem McNeil interview you guys did back then. It was so good. It was, man. And imagine if we did it now, like the production value would be a lot better and we'd have better questions, I think, even. I mean, that was a great interview, though. And the fact that he went on, that offseason, we interviewed two guys. We actually interviewed more than that, but the two guys that we prominently interviewed, Aleem McNeil and Quinn Miners. Aleem McNeil got paid last year, one of the highest paid defensive tackles in the league, and Quinn Miners got paid by the Denver Broncos, one of the highest paid guards in the NFL. So Fireside Giants is a great place to be if you're a draft prospect to get on here. You will get paid one day. Oh, Jack Beck. As soon as I tweet Jack Beck, he goes off the board. That's unbelievable. Unfortunate. If the draft is ever in Jacksonville, I live 40 minutes away. I have a spare bedroom for you, Anthony. Sean, thanks, man. I will definitely be there if it's in Jacksonville, and we can definitely link up. That would be much appreciated. So, yeah, I used to go to school not near Jacksonville, but I went to Stetson University, which is obviously in the land, so only an hour from Jacksonville. And I went to the last game that the Giants and Jags had in Jacksonville, and it was a great game. A lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun. I'll be there in Jacksonville for sure. Tate Ratledge. Unfortunate that he's off the board, but what are you going to do? Ravens pick is in. Is Cameron Simpson still in the live chat? I know he's partial to the Baltimore Ravens. Get a live reaction to this one. All right. I'm not surprised by Jalen Milroe falling, Fabrizio. I called this in a live on my most recent mock draft. Not my most recent, but I did those predictive mock drafts leading up to the draft special. And one of them, I had Jalen Milroe to the Giants at 65 overall. So this is in line with that. I know there was a lot of buzz. Will he go at the back end of the first round? Is he a first-round pick? I never bought it. He's just not a finished product at the quarterback position, and there aren't that many quarterback-needy teams who are going to be willing to take that chance. So I'm not surprised by Milroe. I am surprised by Sanders falling this far. And now the question is just how far is he going to fall? I think Milroe is going to get drafted before him now as well. Lou Boogie, yes. Jack Beck's brother did unfortunately pass away in that terrorist attack on New Year's in New Orleans. That shit was awful. And he actually had such an inspirational moment. He caught the game-winning touchdown in the Senior Bowl. And I think he was wearing his brother's jersey or something underneath, and he lifted up his shirt and showed it. It was a really cool moment. And he honored his brother in a really nice way at that Senior Bowl. And it was a really special moment. How did I become a Giants fan? I was born one. No, my uncle Anthony, shout out to you. He's a big Giants fan, and he introduced me to the sport of football, and he introduced me to the New York Giants. And as soon as he did, I fell in full bloom love. So, Giants fan till I die, that's for sure. How did I become a Chargers fan is a better question. I'm just kidding. I'm not really a Chargers fan, guys. Stop. I just like them. They're like, I watch them on the side because my sister lives in LA and she's a Chargers fan. Cam Simpson saying, I want an edge or a guard. Cam, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I want an edge or a guard too for the New York Giants. Not an edge, but a guard hopefully for the Giants. And I know you want an edge or a guard for the Ravens. Let's see what the Ravens do, man. Pick is in. I'm excited to see. I could see them going pass rusher here, though, for sure. I think that would make a lot of sense for them. Thanks for the super chat, my best friend. Thank you for the super chat. Exactly. The Giants are my wife. The Chargers are just my guma for all of you who love The Sopranos. Milroe is still on the board. Jalen Milroe falling down the board rapidly. Who did the Seahawks take? Caleb Johnson, running back out of Iowa. That's another name that I think you could keep an eye on. Trey Harris would have been nice for sure. Texans side piece, nice. Bills are a good side piece too. All right. Come on, Baltimore. Let's get this pick announced already. Yeah, Seahawks did take Arroyo. That's right. They were showing somebody putting on a Seahawks hat. I didn't recognize who it was, but yeah, it's Arroyo. Good call out. I don't know how I forgot that either. Hey, seriously, Latino King, shout out to you. Cowboys should draft Sanders. I agree. I think they should. And shout out to Bears Max, who was live with me last night. He said this. He said that the Cowboys should draft Sanders. I kind of agree. Fabrizio, Anthony, are you worried about next year's QB class being better than this class, especially the possibility of Manning being there? Well, firstly, I think that Arch Manning is a 2027 quarterback. I do not think that he is coming out next year. And I think he's not going to come out next year, and I'm not concerned about next year's quarterback class because I think you have to live in the here and now, especially if you're Brian Dable and Joe Shane coming off of that 3-14 season. Got to save your job somehow. They need to worry about right now. And also, my big thing that I always say is you hire slowly and you fire quickly. You go through the pre-draft process. You're diligent about it. You take your quarterback. And if he's not cutting it and he doesn't look great, or if you fire the coach and the GM and you've got this quarterback that they drafted, you fire the quarterback too and you move on. It's not his fault and you feel terrible for him, but you got to be able to move on quickly and go ahead and take someone who can potentially turn your franchise around. Like if the Giants have the number 1 overall pick next year, odds are Dart did see the field this year because they were so bad and he probably didn't play well. So if you got the number 1 pick and the quarterback's on the board, you might take the quarterback. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I believe in Dart though, and I think he's going to get a good amount of time afforded to him to prove himself. And I hope that he absolutely does prove himself as a star. But there's always ways that you can move off a quarterback, move on to a new one, or build around them the right way. So Sean says, my dad had me at 6 years old watching the Giants' first Super Bowl. Then in 91, he was in a coma and left me way too early. That's where my deep love for the Giants come from. Born in New York, moved to Florida at 5 years old. Sean, that's beautiful. Rest in peace to your father. He raised you right. He raised you as a New York Giants fan. So he did the right thing. So shout out to your dad. And so touching story. I love it. I love hearing how people become Giants fans. Love to hear it. All right. I can't wait to see this Ravens pick. Turn the volume up too. So our resident Ravens fan who hangs out in the chat with us can hopefully hear the pick. It's awesome, man. Love it. Yeah, we're almost there. Almost the end of round 2. It's coming up. Wow, Mike Green. That's the guy you wanted, Cameron. That's crazy. Well, his slide finally ends, and they get a potential first-round talent at the back end of the second round. Don't love the person, don't love the stories, but he's a damn good football player, so that's definitely a Baltimore Ravens move. It's actually funny. I was talking to Cameron Simpson a few days ago about the draft, and he said, we always just take the guy. Doesn't matter about his character because we just whip him into shape, and they always don't have those problems. So, Cameron, you called it. The Ravens took a red flag character guy, and they're probably going to make it work, and he's going to be a steal probably. Just like you said, don't get arrested. Great pick, though. He's a great player. Only 5 picks to go. I see a lineman, possible guard. How about a center? It's not a strong center class, so I really doubt it would be a center, but there are quite a few guards still on the board. Marcus Mbow still being there. Keep an eye on him. I could see it being Marcus Mbow. I could see it being Wyatt Milam out of West Virginia as well. And obviously there's some defensive tackles on the board still that I really like, including DARIUS Alexander. So, interesting. John, I really hope the Giants don't let Abdul Carter wear 56. 56 is retired, and it needs to stay that way. There's only one 56, and that's Lawrence Taylor. The number that I think Abdul Carter should wear, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, he needs to wear number 91. He wants to walk in the footsteps of a legend. He wants to honor legends by wearing their jersey number. Honor Justin Tuck, man. One of the best pass rushers that we've ever seen for the New York Giants. His number is not retired. I think debatably you could argue that it should be. But you know what? Wear that number, honor Justin Tuck by wearing 91, and go get that thing retired both for you and for Justin Tuck. Could you imagine 20 years from now, we're having a Ring of Honor ceremony, and they're retiring number 91 with both Abdul Carter and Justin Tuck standing next to each other? That sounds freaking awesome to me. So 91 is the move for Abdul Carter. Go flood it on his social media and tell him number 91 is the perfect number for Abdul Carter. Because if you can't have 11, you can't have 1, you can't have 56, man. I'm sorry. I don't like 51, 91. That's perfect. It's a legend number, and it's not retired. Perfect. RJ Harvey, UCF running back, who yesterday said that they're from UCF. Somebody in the chat yesterday is from UCF. I think it was Christian, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was Christian. But yeah, RJ Harvey, there he goes, off the board to the Broncos. They finally get their running back. Agreed. The pressure of wearing 56 is way too much. You can never live up to that. He went to CU Boulder. Eli, who we taking at 65? I'm going to say it's going to be a guard or defensive tackle because the board is falling perfectly for the Giants to take someone at one of those two positions. The name that I'm predicting right now, if I have to make one player prediction, I think it's going to be Marcus Mbow out of Purdue. He's a guard. I believe he's a right guard as well, which is perfect for the Giants. And he's a very good football player. 6'4", 300 pounds, with 32-inch arms. Started at right guard. He actually, this past season, I'll make this even better for you guys. He started at right tackle this past season for Purdue. But he originally started out at guard. Because of his arm length, he projects to be a guard at the next level. And I think a guy who's got some tackle flexibility on the right side, who's also a plug-and-play guard, that makes sense for the New York Giants, especially if they've given up on Evan Neal, which I believe they have, and they probably should. So really, really like Marcus Mbow. That's going to be my prediction, although my other prediction would be DARIUS Alexander, defensive tackle out of Toledo, another very good prospect that the Giants like. Trey Amos, somebody just said Amos. Unfortunately, Amos just went off the board to the Washington Commanders. A good pick for them. Yeah, number 90 is a great number too. Shout out JPP. The reason I say 91 for Abdul Carter is because he wore 1-1. He wore 11. So assuming he wants to keep one of those ones, 91. Go honor the GOAT. Justin Tuck. I love Justin Tuck. Justin Tuck is the first NFL player, fun fact, guys, the first NFL player that I ever had a formal interview with over at the Tom Coughlin J Fund Charity Gala in 2020. I think it was 2019. It was 2019. He was the first player that I interviewed. I interviewed him again last summer, so it was pretty cool. I really love Justin Tuck. He's one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to, and his trainer, TBR Training on social media. Go check him out. Really cool guy. Really, really cool guy. Anthony, true story. I was on field at the Meadowlands with my dad to my right and Wellington Mara to my left during Eli's draft party. Even Peyton Manning was there. That is freaking awesome. Lou, that's really, really cool. That's some great piece of Giants history that you were there for. Oh, did my mic cut out, guys? I'm sorry. What did we miss? I don't know. Well, if I saw last summer's interview, thank you so much. Sorry if the mic cut out, guys. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Yeah, he was there. He and Tyrone Tracy were indeed teammates. So take Tracy and put his former right tackle, right guard right in front of him. Let them block together. It'd be great. Yeah, right, Lo-Fi. Banks, 3-2, what? He was wearing number 3, now he's 2. If he gives up 2 to Dart. I don't think he's going to give up 2 to Dart, though. I got to say, I think 12 is one of the best quarterback numbers ever. I love the number 12. Jackson Dart needs to rock number 12, man. Go from 2 to 12. I think that's great. Oh, the Bears are making another pick. I'm texting Bears Max. How do you guys have so many picks? I feel like every time I look up, the Bears are making a damn pick. Yeah, Philadelphia picks, and then we pick. Watch, Marcus Mbow is going to go to Philadelphia now that I said it. I'm going to take him.
You're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial? Since when?
Bum, bum, bum.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The future is here. We've been creating it for more.
Yeah, 12 would be such a good number for him.
Most advanced technology to the broadest, most reliable network of sales and service dealers. Always moving forward. We lead, others follow. Rise and shine. Over here, baby. Let's get it. GMFB is live from LA.
Did the Bears take Shamar Turner? That's a great pick. Spoiled my TV, though. That's okay. I'm not careful. Bears. I will, as you all know, close the live chat when the Giants are on the clock and react to their pick in real time without being spoiled and give you my genuine, honest reaction. Super excited to do so. We shall see who it is. Should be fun. And then just as a heads up, after the Giants do make their pick, I'm going to run over to the Bleacher Report app and do my live stream over there for about 30 minutes. I live stream every Friday night on Bleacher Report. This week, instead of doing it at the normal 6 o'clock time, it's going to be after the pick to do an analysis. And then, you know what? After that, I'm going to jump right back on here and go live again. So stay tuned. Follow me over to Bleacher Report if you would like to. Really fun shows over there as well. But then I'll be back live on Fireside Giants. Of course, bro. What? Am I not going to be live on Fireside Giants? Of course I'm going to be live on Fireside Giants. Where is freaking Alex? Sleeping. What time is it over by him? 5 a.m.? So he's sleeping. Sean, thank you. Rashad, thank you. Appreciate it. Fabricio, any Fireside Rangers content anymore? Fireside Rangers is still running. If you were tuned into Fireside Rangers a while ago when I was one of the co-hosts, my co-host Eric still runs the show. But I got so busy with Fireside Giants and everything that we're doing and building here. I had to unfortunately make a time management decision and cut myself out of Fireside Rangers. But the plan is eventually one day I want to get back involved with Fireside Rangers. So whenever that day does come, I'll announce it here on Fireside Giants for those of you who want to tune back into that. I mean, John, literally, I thought that was a joke. I thought somebody was joking with me when they said that he extended Chris Drury. I was like, he didn't fire him. He extended him. What are we talking about? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I could not believe that for any of the Rangers fans. James Dolan is the worst thing to happen to the Rangers and the Knicks, for sure. But I don't know. That's debatable. Bad things have happened to those teams. Cam Simpson asking, would you take safety Xavier Watts as part of my best player available way of thinking? I like Xavier Watts. He's a pretty good player. However, I don't think that I would, because I think personally the best player on my board is Marcus and Bauer, Darius Alexander, because I watch them more, though. That's kind of the thing. I watch them more than these other guys. I don't know, though. Xavier Watts is a pretty damn good player. Isaiah Bond is still on the board, too. That's interesting. If I'm going best player available, I am a pretty big Shedeur fan. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to happen. I think Darius Alexander is my favorite player on the board right now, so it'll probably be him. Now, we are 3 picks away. Shamar Turner to the Bears is a great pick. If he would have made it to 65, he absolutely could have been the selection. Hendricks wants Scattaboo at number 65 overall. I guess that's a possibility. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa would be a great pick. I would be excited with that. I do wonder if the Giants are going to make a point to just load up on offensive talent. You know, like they drafted Jackson Dart. Now do they just keep doubling and tripling down and just go, hey, let's keep adding talent to the offense and give him a bunch of playmakers who are young and can grow with him over the next few years. I think it's totally possible. So I wonder if we do end up going with another playmaker here or if we build the trenches. I think you got to go trenches, though. Chiefs pick the defensive tackle. Who they pick? I got to see. I do think that we can wait until round 4 for running back if we want to go based on needs and based on the boards. There haven't been that many running backs taken. Like the Ohio State guys went, UCF kid went. Omar Norman Lott goes off the board. Tennessee defensive tackle that I think is too undersized. I'm not crazy about, but hey, with Spags and playing alongside Chris Jones, that's a really good spot for him. I could see him becoming an absolute stud. But yeah, not my flavor, but a good player and somebody who's really high on a lot of people's boards. So now it's just up to Philadelphia. And you know what, man? I would not be shocked if Philadelphia just goes ahead and does exactly what we're all afraid of and takes Darius Alexander, right? It's probably going to happen, isn't it? Brian, who's on the board? A lot of talent still. Guys that we thought were going in the second round. Marcus Mbao being among the best players available. He's probably who I would pick here if I'm the Giants at 65. I think Marcus Mbao is great and fills a need. Lo-Fi, whose pick is in? Is it the Eagles? Giants pick isn't in yet, right? I'm not that far behind, I don't think. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and close the live chat here for a second so I can give you guys my live reaction to the picks. Not that you need my live reaction to the Eagles pick, but since these picks are coming in so fast, I don't want to get duped. Caleb Johnson could be the pick. He's definitely on the board for the Giants. Wyatt Milam, West Virginia guard, could be the pick. Philly's in a commercial break right now, so screw it. I'm going to open up the live chat again. Don't tell me who they picked, though. Don't say it in the chat. Who else could we select? I don't think there's a receiver available. Other than Isaiah Bond. Jalen Noel out of Ohio. Wow. Out of Iowa State is an interesting player. That Stanford wide receiver whose name I struggle to pronounce, Elik Aomanor. Guys, I'm so bad with names. He's a really good player, and I'm shocked that he's still on the board, honestly. Could have seen him going way earlier than this. So if they want to go receiver, maybe he's a pick. That would be interesting. Like a route technician kind of guy. Savion Williams out of TCU is also interesting. I think he's somebody that they might be able to get in round 4, though. But that's the 6'4" wide receiver out of TCU who also plays running back. Very versatile and dynamic player. Tez Johnson out of Oregon is the most undersized player of all time. I somehow weigh more than him, but he's a productive player, so maybe he's an interesting option. Yeah, Xavier Watts, safety out of Notre Dame, is interesting. Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, the edge rusher. I can't believe that he's still on the board, and I can't believe he's not a higher-ranked prospect. Just based on where his career started and where it ended up going. Like, he had such potential to be like a game breaker, and then he just kind of reached the ceiling, and that was it. So, I don't know. He never had the growth that people expected, but Jack Sawyer, I don't know. Maybe he just needs the NFL coaching. They don't have the growth. But he's an edge. I really doubt the Giants take an edge here. Landon Jackson is freaking awesome, though, out of Arkansas. I can't believe he's still on the board after the combine that he went. His combine was ridiculous. He's a really good player who I thought should have been taken by now. Let me guess. That's who the Eagles are taking. I don't know. Of course, they're in commercial break. Shocker. NFL Network just had a commercial play where Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart were shown back to back. And I think this is like a commercial from prior to the NFL draft starting, which is hilarious. Yeah, because Shedeur is being shown and stuff. That's crazy. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Jackson Dart, man, my franchise quarterback. Mike Green to the Ravens, though. I still can't believe that. Can't believe he fell so far. First-round talent falling all the way almost to the third round and then right into the laps of a Super Bowl contender. It's how the Eagles always do it, right? They take the red flag guys and say, screw it. Oh, here we go. There's a dork. Brandon Graham is on my screen to announce the Eagles pick. Sorry if Trenton is still in the live chat, our resident Eagles fan. Ew. God, I hate Philadelphia. I hate Eagles green. It's so ugly. I hate the Eagles. I don't know what's bothering me here, but something's bothering me. Man, I freaking hate the Eagles. Look at these dorks. God, I hate the Eagles, man. I just watch this and I get angry. They're not even playing football. They're just walking across a stage and showing fans in the crowd. Look at this guy's mustache, you absolute joke, Bo Allen. My God. I hate the Eagles so much. That man's got a massive forehead. That thing is ginormous. Oh, and they took Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas, that the Giants did have a 30 visit with. That's interesting. I actually think that's a little high for him. I think finally, for once, Howie Roseman reached. Can you believe it? God, I hate the Eagles, man. Now all of a sudden, Makuba is going to be, oh, that's who the Giants were going to take. They had a 30 visit for him. That's who they were going to take. Hope they ruin him. No, I'm just kidding. That was kind of mean. God, I hate the Eagles, man. The Eagles landed a star Alabama prospect last night. Like, of course they did, right? Why wouldn't they? Everything always goes according to plan for them. Never for us. Well, not never. Not never. But yeah. Hello.
Interceptions, really good player, including finishing off the college football playoff game against Arizona State. Yeah, I turned that game off. Not anything you do with you. I would have too if I were you. No, I did. It was nasty in the second quarter. You don't have to keep going.
Good hour and a half almost into this live stream. This is exciting. Let's lock in my final prediction. My final prediction is going to be Marcus Mbao, the Purdue guard. The Giants had him in for 30 visit. He's a good player. I think they had him in for 30 visit. Did they? Somebody confirm that for me. I don't know. Pick is in, so you guys probably know what it is. But I've got that chat closed. I'm gonna go ahead and react. Giants selection coming up. They got that pick in quick, so I imagine somebody that they really liked fell in their lap. See who it is. One of these days. Still waiting. The two players that I like for the Giants here, Marcus Mbao out of Purdue and Darius Alexander out of Toledo. I think they did have a 30 visit with Darius Alexander. That much I know. And honestly, I thought he was going to be an option for them at 34. So if he's here at 65, I imagine that's got to be the pick. That would be a great pick. I'll be celebrating if they announce it and that's the pick. Whenever they finally announce it here. Doing my live reaction. I'm also proud to be an American, but I want to know who the New York Giants selected. And all of you know in the live chat, and I've just got it closed. The draft looks fun, though, man. It looks like a fun event. I would love to go to the draft. Maybe next year. It's a bunch of fans standing all together, having some beers. That's essentially all it is, right? Just having some beers and watching some 22-year-olds walk across the stage. Sounds kind of fun. Day 3 of the draft must be a bore, though. Like, if you're at the event, like, there's no players walking across the stage. You're just there drinking, I guess. Oh, that's not a bore. That sounds like fun. Yeah, maybe I'll go to the draft next year. Yo, are they going to announce this pick? Is it going to be announced like tonight, or is it going to happen tomorrow?
The player that we've been talking about for much of this draft because he is yet to be selected. Shedeur Sanders made it through the second round. It's now a third.
I'm waiting. Through 2 rounds and no Shedeur Sanders, so that's crazy. Oh, here we go. Finally. Finally, they're walking on the stage to say the pick.
To all of our fans, you look amazing out there.
Jason Sehorn. Shout out to Jason Sehorn, man. They have him listed as a safety. Wasn't he a cornerback?
65th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New York Giants select DARIUS Alexander.
Yes. That's a great pick. That is a perfect selection for the New York Giants. That's exactly what they need. That is where best player available meets need, and you get an absolute steal in the 3rd round of the NFL Draft. I love it. I absolutely love it. Great selection. We've been talking about him forever on this channel for the past couple months. Yes. Joe Schoen is killing this draft. That Giants defense is so much better now. I mean, that's a defensive line right there. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm looking at the live chat now. We got a lot of let's goes. We got BPA. We went BPA, and it was a need. Yeah, that was the best player available for sure. Hell yeah, LFG. Hell yeah, Sean. Rashad says I'm goated. Thank you. Great compliment to Sexy Dexy. 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, listen, a lot of Giants fans, maybe weren't excited about the Jackson Dart trade because of who you could potentially be giving up at 34. A lot of Giants fans wanted DARIUS Alexander at 34. Well, you got him anyway at 65. That's a great selection. Exactly when BPA meets need. That's exactly what the New York Giants needed. This is a defensive line now that features Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and DARIUS Alexander out of Toledo. Now that's a defensive line. That's a 5-man rotation that you get crazy about. Good luck running against the Giants. Good luck throwing against the Giants. Yes, Christian, I think he's starting day 1. I do.
He's a D-line coach favorite. You just talk to a bunch of these teams. My D-line coach loves this kid from Louisville. He has just
absolutely fantastic. I love it. Golden Spation, thank you so much for the super chat saying, made a bet with a friend for a top 10 defense. It was a good bet because I think you got a really good chance of this being a top 10 defense. Really, really good chance, man. Wow. All the improvements that they made in the secondary in free agency, and now they're just stacking this defensive line through the draft. And that's what I love about it. It's through the draft, so they're saving a lot of money by getting draft picks on the defensive line. Building through the trenches in the draft is the way to do it. And, yeah, I mean, they absolutely are stacking this thing up. This should be a monster defense this year. I am so excited with this pick. Great pick. Absolutely great selection. Wow. All right, guys, drop your grades in the chat. Drop your grades so far in the chat for the New York Giants. How do you grade their first 3 picks here? Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, and now DARIUS Alexander. I mean, we definitely never thought that was a possibility to land all 3 of those guys in this draft. So what a hell of a selection. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited, guys. That is awesome. When BPA meets need, that is when you get really, really good picks. Players who pan out. And yeah, I think DARIUS Alexander is going to pan out. Big fan of his game.
You can make every dollar count. Right now, get our best price as low as $25 a line.
How are we feeling, guys? What's your grades? A+, B+. Think they need a wide receiver, offensive lineman? Yeah, well, they still have an opportunity to get one, so we'll see. A++++. Let's fucking go. Yes, sir. A+. We got a lot of A+s in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to go 4th round running back. I think you're right here, Christian. I think running back is going to be the pick in the 4th round. I think there's a really good chance of that. A lot of A+s. On paper, this is his best draft. Last year's was really strong, but you know what? On paper, this is looking fantastic so far. Really, really good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Midward Watson, what an amazing job we've done in the last 2 days. Let's fucking go A grade. I'm absolutely with you. I'm giving this an A. Getting Darius Alexander at 65 is kind of like a ribbon, kind of like a bow right on top. I did not expect him to be there at 65. That is a fantastic selection for the New York Giants. That's fantastic, man. Wow, I'm excited. Good stuff. Yep, and not another top 30 selection. Everybody that the Giants meet with in the top 30, you have to keep a close eye on because they end up drafting those players. Huge steal here. This is an absolute steal from Joe Shane and the New York Giants. I love this pick of Darius Alexander. I think he fell. I think he dropped so far because of his age. He's a late bloomer, didn't have a lot of production until recently in his collegiate career. So I think that's probably what it was. But I think for the Giants, because then you kind of assume he's got a limited ceiling, right? But for the Giants, that's fine because I think he does start from day one. I saw that question in the chat. I think he starts on day one, and you don't necessarily need him to have the highest ceiling coming in because he's going to be playing alongside one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL and Dexter Lawrence. And I think you need him to have a very high floor. And I think Darius Alexander has a very, very high floor. And he's a good pass rusher, a great pass rusher on the interior. I don't know how you're blocking this if you're an offensive line, how you're going to have, how you're going to protect against Darius Alexander, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah, I'm actually like dumbfounded. I think this is incredible. This is such a good draft for the New York Giants. Can't stress it enough. Great draft. Yep, I'm excited. That's a steal, man. Darius Alexander at 65. Anybody saw that one coming? Your mock drafts have him at 65 or they have him at 34? Because I know a lot of them had him at 34. Wow. Great stuff, man. Fortunately, guys, I am going to have to jump over to the Bleacher Report app here in a couple of minutes. I'm getting things set up for that, but I'm going to try and hang on for that Vegas pick to see if we get a Shedeur. But I don't know. Shedeur might be a day 3 pick. It's important to do your interviews well. That's what we're learning. Nathan with a super chat. Nathan, thank you so much. Any chance Scadaboo falls to round 4? I also like Marshawn Lloyd at running back. I think there's a really good chance that Scadaboo falls to round 4. I was reading reports that teams might not be as high on him as fans are. And unfortunately, he could fall a little bit in the draft. And I think a lot of that has to do with athleticism. Listen, I really like Scadaboo, but I also do really like athletic running backs, and he's not much of an athlete. So in the 4th round, if he's there at 105, I'll take him. But he's not exactly my preference in terms of the style of running back. But there's a really good chance he does fall to 34, and there's a really good chance the Giants take him. They did have him in for a top 30 visit. So gotta love it. Time is it? Wow, I can't believe how late it is. Sheesh. Steelers may draft with their 3rd round pick. I could see that. But yeah, thanks again, Nathan, for the super chat. We'll see. Maybe it is Scatterboo in the 4th. Tomorrow's going to be exciting. Giants have not a ton of draft capital tomorrow, but not that they need it. They've already nailed these first 3 picks. Yeah, another big shout out to Lucas for all of the memberships that he dropped in the chat. Seriously, just can't thank you enough, Lucas. That was incredible. Thank you so much. Fantastic stuff here. Really love that Darius Alexander pick, man. Darian Porter to the Raiders. Now, I thought this could be where Shedeur finally lands. Apparently not. That is a hell of a selection. He's one of the most athletic players to ever compete at the NFL Scouting Combine. Really good pick, 6'4", absolute beast. I can't believe this defensive line that the Giants have built. Age 50 Pharaoh with another super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Pharaoh, saying our defense looks scary. I can't wait for the season. They're saying Milroe and Ewers will get drafted before Sanders. Listen, if that happens and it just continues to be a drop, I mean, wow, I don't know. Could he just drop all the way out? I don't know. He'll get drafted, right? Sanders has to get drafted, I feel like. But, man, the fall is truly incredible to watch. Like, not in a good way. It's just crazy. But, yeah, I think that Milroe could go before. Milroe's still not taken. Ewers still on the board. We'll see what happens at this quarterback position. But this Sanders fall is something to behold. I've never seen anything like this. All right, we got some super chats raining in here. Thank you guys so much. And after I get through these, I am going to have to jump off and go over to the Bleacher Report app. I hope you guys follow me over there as I'll continue my analysis. And I do plan on getting back on here and live streaming after I'm done over on Bleacher Report. John says, great work this year. Thankful for the draft insight that you and Ethan did this year. Hope this is the start of a turnaround. John, thank you so much. Alex and I did this year. But yes, we love talking draft and we love talking Giants and we love building this community with you guys. And we thank you so much for all the support, the super chats, the normal chats, the subscribers, the likes, everything. I can't thank you guys enough. So this has been a fun year. And I always say it every year, we're only getting started because every year we're trying to do even better, strive even further. So, and hey, we're closing in on 24K and you best believe a 25K special is going to be something absolutely to behold on this channel. So John, thank you so much. And Corp dropping a super chat. Thank you so much. Is it conceivable that Sanders will either be Mr. Irrelevant or undrafted? I guess, but no, I think he gets drafted. Listen, he's got talent. Shedeur Sanders has a lot of talent. Clearly, he rubbed teams the wrong way. Something's off. Something with his interviews. He upset some teams, and he's falling down the board as a result. But he's still a very good football player. I guarantee every team has a draftable grade on him as a prospect. Somebody's going to take a chance on him. In fact, I think he gets drafted before the end of the night. But we'll see. I guess you really never know. But no, I don't think he'll be Mr. Irrelevant or anything like that. But thank you so much for the super chat. NYPD is back, baby. Yes, sir. The Giants have built an absolute wall on their defensive line. I'm super excited, man. No more excuses. Giants defense should be top 10 in 2025. I 100% agree with you. Has to be up there. Has to be one of the best units. And listen, there's no excuse for it not to be. It's a really, really good defense that they've put on paper, and now they just got to execute. Shane Bowen, please don't let us down. Trenton's getting out of here. Trenton says, love the show. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Trenton, for tuning in and all of your support. All right, guys, I am going to jump over to the Bleacher Report app. Once again, I can't thank you all enough for the support. We had over 800 people in here when the pick was being made. Just fantastic viewership. Guys, thank you so much once again. Make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. I'll be live again tomorrow, day 3 of the draft. It's in the afternoon, so hopefully Alex can join me as well. But yes, I will be over there. I will be over there on Bleacher Report for the next 30 minutes, and I will be live again tomorrow to cover day 3 of the NFL draft. And if I'm feeling froggy, I might go live again tonight. We shall see. So stay tuned, of course, to the channel as always. But once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bottom line, the New York Giants defensive line, no excuses, got to be one of the best in the NFL. I'm absolutely thrilled. A+ draft so far. Love these selections, and I am super freaking excited. Lou Bryant saying, will it be Kobe Bryant at 105? Maybe. It absolutely could be. Fireplace, yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. So make sure that you do tune in tomorrow for my live stream to react to day 3 of the NFL draft. So again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I had an absolute blast reacting to this pick and to talk some New York Giants with you for another day here in a row. So thanks again so much, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.